So you want to build a lifestyle self-made. You want to have the time, freedom to do the things you'd like, the money you need to make it happen. But it's not quite happening yet. Whether you're still just talking about it and it just doesn't get done, or it's going a little slower than you think. This is definitely for you. I'm Alice Seba, your co-host at Lifestyle Self-Made, where we talk about how to create that life that you want. Not the perfect life that has absolutely everything in it, because that's impossible, but the life that matters to you. So in this episode, we'll talk about 5 things that are keeping you from living your lifestyle self-made. And I'll give you some practical solutions on how to get past those and fix it, because knowing what to do when you're trying to build a business or create some kind of work situation where you do have more time for yourself, knowing what to do, the technology, understanding those things, that's important. But the more important thing is your mindset and how you approach things, how you balance everything. That is what's going to carry you through. So if that part's missing, you're going to want to listen to this episode. So first off, the number one thing is, if you haven't figured out what your life priorities are, then you're going to stay stuck. Now, obviously, on the surface, most of us think, well, yeah, I know it's important to me. But if you haven't done the exercise of figuring out the very top things and what has to give and take a little bit in that, then you're missing out. So if you don't have our free Lifestyle Self-Made guide, you can download it and it'll help you work through this and help you establish those priorities so that you know when to give and take. And a lot of us think our family is important, our friends, or certain activities that we like to do. They're all important things, right? But we have to figure out what's always going to be in the top. That's going to create that life that we really want. But more importantly than that, also understanding that some of our priorities can sometimes be in conflict with each other. So let's say you want to make a ton of money so you can buy things and buy experiences, but you also want lots of time to do other things. Now, of course, you can build a business that gives you lots of time, but you might not be willing to do all the work that's required in order to grow it that way. You may want to have a little less income in order to have more time freedom, or you might be willing to sacrifice some of those priorities in the short run so that in the long run you have this. So you have to have a clear picture of how that's going to look. And obviously it'll evolve as you go along, but without having that clarity in your mind, you're going to flounder, because you're going to be like, yes, I want time freedom, but what am I willing to do to get it? You don't know that part. Number 2 is making sure you schedule your work. And I don't just mean make your to-do list, that's important too. But when you're going to do the work, you should know that, because if you're still trying to just grow your business and other things that seem more pressing will keep taking priority, or chores that are left undone that can distract you, and you'll want to get those done as well. You have to decide when you're going to work, what you're going to get done, and it has to be the priority. Your family needs to understand, your friends need to understand that you're busy and that you need that time to get things done. Of course, true lifestyle self-made means you can be flexible with that as you go. But if you haven't developed the discipline to be flexible, you need to stick with a more stringent schedule. Get those things done first. Number 3 is not tracking your progress. So when you're doing stuff, you're building your business, you're growing your traffic, creating products, all this great stuff, but you're not really seeing what works better, what works best. You just keep doing the same things, creating the same products, posting to social media, and not really seeing which posts are getting attention, what platforms you should be paying closer attention. You need to be paying attention and building on the things that are working and slowly removing those things that aren't. So it's not like you're clocking into a job You got to go do these things and it's done. You need to be doing the things that work. And that said, number 4 is if you don't give things time to build and you jump from one thing to another, you're going to have difficulty as well. So make sure that you're learning from people and sources that you can trust. Follow the process, see it through, understand that traffic takes time to build, building a rapport with your audience takes time to build, but it'll help you make sure that you're staying the course. Of course, you know that you can join us at the Platinum Inner Circle at eKidHub University anytime, where we'll guide you more through things. We have tons of training, lots of support for you. We have accountability meetings, training sessions, showing you how to build real assets for your business. So if you need that kind of guidance, please do come see us. And number 5 is, I think, the thing that's going to keep you going, right? Because you can schedule everything. Things will get tough. You'll see, you'll wait for things to build, you track your progress, but you still need to actually have this one thing. And that number 5 thing is, if you're not in love with the process of growing your business, it'll be hard. And you may not love it at first. And here's the thing, like where you're balancing your passion, because you're probably starting a business on a topic or with a product that you love making or something like that. But then you're also becoming an entrepreneur, which is new. And that stuff might not be so natural to you. But as an entrepreneur, you can teach people how to make the products you make. You can help people create your content. But you are the CEO of this business and you have to be overseeing it. You have to be making your promotion schedule. You have to be behind the marketing, whether you hire someone to actually, even if you hire someone to do a lot of the tasks, you still have to be the person who has the overall vision. That is your number 1 job as an entrepreneur. So it is tough because you're holding a lot of hats in your business, especially at first, right? But fall in love with that process. Fall in love with figuring out what grabs people's interest, what they want to buy and what makes them want to buy. That's exciting because even if you don't consider yourself really a salesperson and you kind of loathe sales, as many people do, many creative, passionate entrepreneurs hate it, but until they fall in love with it, they will struggle. But it's all about helping people. It's about helping people get results, about making sure your message reaches the right people and that they take action on that message. So you have to fall in love with that part too. And the more knowledgeable you become in different marketing techniques, product creation techniques, and all those things, that's how you can start falling in love with it. And you need to figure out, and we've talked about it too, we've talked about delegation, previous episodes, right? So you want to get, as an entrepreneur, get a lot of that stuff off your plate that you don't enjoy so much and the things that you really love. So you could ultimately be the creator of everything and hire people to manage your marketing and all that stuff. But you'll have to realize that is a much more expensive way to go. Marketing is a very valuable skill. So the more you can do it, the better you'll do. But still, it doesn't even matter. When, as you start to grow, you do want to do that delegation. You do want to listen to that episode on delegation. And whether you delegate to family members, get them involved, maybe you get a partner to work on things together, maybe you leverage AI in a lot of different ways. And that's something we talk about a lot in the Platinum Inner Circle, so definitely check it out. Lots of resources there for you. Some of our live streams, we got some great conversations going about that, on really taking a lot off your plate without the expense, but also hiring a team. It's been absolutely essential to my success. I also have an episode about this one, and I will link to it for you as well. But that every time a business kind of has a little bit of a slowdown, and if I have to scale back on people helping me, I don't get back on track until I start delegating again. Maybe I need to regroup and figure out what I need to delegate. But delegation is definitely one of the growth secrets and also how you develop that love of the process by eliminating the parts of the process that you don't really care for. So just a bit of food for thought for you as you go along this journey. But definitely get the priorities in check. Download that free Lifestyle Self-Made guidebook if you haven't already. Make sure you're scheduling the things that you need to do and when you're going to do them. And stick with that schedule. Don't forget to track your progress, and do give things time to build, and at the same time, learn from people who have been there, who have the experience. Between Yusuf and I, we have multiple decades of online business experience. We're happy to help you at the Platinum Inner Circle at Eat Kid Hub University so that you can ultimately fall in love with the process of building your lifestyle self-made. And that will help you keep at it. Let me know if I can help in any way. You have any questions, you want to share anything. Always love to hear from you.